sexy shimmering, healing tears and magical twisty horns. Love us forever, we are the unicorns. Love us forever, we are the unicorns.
Whee!
Hola, hello, I am Pepe the King Prono guy.
Oh, that's so f***ing cool. And that's how we completely destroy a powerboard on a Leader 120. Nice.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel. This is Pepe Prawns here, your host at the Quadcopter Review. And today I'm bringing a review on a product that is not new, but it is something that I said I was going to do with our NewBeeDrone Acrobee. And what we did was we went out and we got the Unicorn Edition motors for our NewBeeDrone instead of the golds that we're using. And these motors here are quite a bit different in the sense that they are 25,500 kV motors with 93,000 RPM, and they take a bigger load, so that's not anything surprising. So with these motors, as you can see here, we're going to get a lot more speed, and we're going to draw a lot more power, so we're going to get less flight time. If we take a look here, you can see why they're called the Unicorn with all that coloring all over the motors. What we're going to do is we're going to take our original Acrobee here, and we're going to remove the brain, the BeeBrain V2 from it. We're going to use the 4 screws here that hold it on. We're just going to unscrew those, unplug the motors, and set it to the side. Then we're going to take our new motors and an extra cockroach frame and assemble it on that frame. If you need any help at all assembling this frame with motors, just look in the upper right hand corner right now. There's a link to the video of when we assembled the cockroach frame building the Acrobee itself. So one thing you need to note about the cockroach frame and using the Unicorn motors. The Unicorn motor is a 17mm motor versus a 15mm motor, which is standard. So the cockroach frame was designed for that 15mm motor. And as you can see there's these little knobs at the bottom of the frame. So in order to put those in, what you need to do is you need to clip those out with an X-Acto knife or whatever, so that these motors will seat all the way down. As always, when you get these motors from NewBeeDrone, there are 2 sets of colors on the motors identifying counterclockwise and clockwise. You have a black and white set of wires, and you have a red and blue set of wires. What you do is you just set the frame down, forward or backwards on us. It really doesn't matter because you're going to end up with the same results. And while you're looking at the frame, you want to put a white and black to your left and a white and back to your back right. And you want to put a red and blue to your left back and your right front, and that way you will have them spinning correctly. So I'm going to finish up putting this guy together and take her up in the air, and we'll see what we get. Now I'm going to do a side-by-side video for you. No music, I'm just going to chat with you as we go, but the idea is they're not going to be synced, but I think you're going to see the difference in these motors as we take a look at them running down the same pattern in the yard. Now on your left hand side you're looking at the Unicorn motors, and on your right hand side you're looking at the gold motors. So if we take a look at our left hand side, you'll see the draws happening quickly because these are not going to be your most efficient motors, as they're fast as hell. And as you can see, buzzing through there, and on your right shortly we'll buzz through there, and you'll see there's quite a difference in speed, especially from tree to tree in the yard. You should be able to see the difference. I wasn't just tinking around on the gold motors over there. That is, you know, making some full speed runs just like I am here with the Unicorns. So definitely, if you're interested in speed or maybe popping this out while you're with your buddies and impressing them with some holy smokes speed versus efficiency, I would highly recommend them. They are $19.99 plus shipping, which I think might have been about $4. So you can get into a set of these motors for around $24 from NewBeeDrone. The other interesting fact on them is they do get really warm. So you're not going to go pack after pack after pack on these. The gold motors got slightly warm, but I never really had any heat issues with the gold motors. And that's not necessarily, I'm not saying that's an issue with these unicorns. It's just to be expected when you're spinning these things this hard. And speaking of spinning hard, I do need to go back and drop a little hot glue on each one of the motors. And if you do this, don't go crazy. Just put enough to hold it in place. But they spin so hard they try to pull themselves out of the frame. Now, the cockroach frame, when you put a motor in it, is not loosey-goosey or anything. It holds the motor tight. It's just that's how much, we're getting out of these guys. So that, and it spun a prop right off itself too, because I hadn't cinched it down all the way. Sometimes when you get these little props, the prop hole isn't quite loose enough to push it all the way down. You just kind of bear with it because it almost wears itself in. Then you can pop it down, and that's what happened to me. I was going along. I'm sure you guys are seeing that there's a few cuts here and there. And as one of them, as I was flying along, the prop just came off, and it went down. So, as always, as you know, this isn't a scientific demonstration at all. I do not have the tools that Bardwell has to do more scientific exploration into these things, but this is, one reviewer's thoughts with a stick in his hand, and that's pretty much where I'm coming with these, and I think you can see from the footage as well, and hopefully that helps at all if you're ever on the fence about these particular motors. Lastly, a little channel update is I'm super busy right now. The website I'm building for the island in the Dutch Indies is coming along now, so I've been spending about 18 hours a day as of recent trying to get that project out. So it's slowed down the content a little bit, but that'll be over soon and we'll be back to doing it. So as always, please like this video, tell your friends about the channel, subscribe if you're new. You definitely want to be subscribed. We've got some really big stuff coming in the giveaway department. Hopefully something that will be shock and awe to all, because I haven't seen very many people give away what I'm about to give away. So if you made it to the end, spoiler alert, premium set of goggles. Rhymes with lat snark. See ya.